welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I am going to be heading out a little bit later today, so I thought it'd be a good time for us to get to know each other a little bit better. My name is Tamika, and grab a cup of coffee, your tea, your makeup bag. Let's sit back, let's hang out, and let's get to know each other a little bit better as well as I get ready to head out. I also have my mirror down here, so I will probably look down a little bit as I kind of shape up my eyebrows. But if you've seen some of my other videos, you'll know that this year I've turned 50, and it's really been, this midlife has really been a reflective time for me. I've really taken this opportunity to get to know myself a little bit better, to do a lot more self-reflection, really understand how I can live my life more intentionally and a lot better. Also, how I can be a better partner to my fiance, and also how I can be a better friend and daughter and all of those things. So when I started this YouTube channel, that's what I really wanted to talk about, was really my journey, and still talk about my journey of self-discovery. So as I clean up my eyebrows, I do need to have them really redone, but today is just a quick cleanup, just so when I head out today, they won't look completely awful. I've already washed my face, so my face is clean. And what I like to always do, sorry, I just got finished eating some peanuts. Why? Why eat some peanuts and start this video? But I was feeling a little peckish. I've not had lunch yet today, but I wanted to do this and then eat while I'm out. So I didn't want to eat too much here. But what I always like to do is start with my moisturizer. Today I'm going to be using the Advanced Daily Oil Control by Proactive. My face has been a little active. So when my face is active, I always like to make sure, active with breakouts, I always like to make sure that I always go in and use this as my primary moisturizer. I love this stuff. It's definitely something that I repurchase all the time. So I'll go in with that, and I would have to say, this is, even though my skin does get a little active, I would have to say that as I've matured, yes, your skin texture, all those things changes, but I would have to say the constant acne and those type of breakouts, I really don't have to deal with that too much anymore. I think right now it's just a normal aging, kind of fine lines in my face and things like that. But I think that comes with character, and as you grow, I think your face can tell the story of your life, and I think that I wouldn't want to change any of that. I do get tempted. I do look at myself a lot now that I've started recording YouTube videos, but I think that right now I'm happy with where my face is. It doesn't mean that I would never do Botox or filler. I've thought about it, and it's not something that's definitely off the table. I'm always open to it. But as I do this, let's take a little bit of a backstory. I said I'll talk a little bit about myself, but like I said, I just turned 50 this year, and if you can believe it, I sometimes can't. It's a huge milestone, but at 50, I'm also getting married. And I would have to say that all of my friends are already married. I am actually the last friend in my friend group to get married, and the same with my partner, my fiance. All of his friends are married as well, and we have known each other for over 20 years. We met when I first moved to the DC metro area. We dated off and on when I first got here, and the timing just never seemed to be right. Here is my Supergroup glow screen. I always like to go in with this before I put in my foundation. I always like to add a little glow to my skin. This. So we met almost 20 years ago out on, I don't know if I would call it maybe it was a kind of a blind date. I had just started a job here, and we went out on a Friday night, and one of the girls that I worked with, boyfriend, was going to meet us out at TGIF Fridays. At one time, that was really it would turn into a nightclub at night with really loud music and fun times. So her boyfriend was going to be meeting us after work on the first week that I moved to the area. So he called in some of his friends, and one of the friends that he called to meet us out was my fiance. And that we met that night and we exchanged numbers, hit it off. I just moved here, so it wasn't anything that I was taking honestly very seriously. He was at a point in his life where he was not really taking any relationship seriously. So to me, it was just definitely going to be something more casual. Then we went out a couple times and we started dating, and like with most things, they just don't work out. So in between that, we would date other people, and then we connect and date other people. And it got to a point, maybe at the 15-year mark, where I was like, we can't keep doing this. I would like more. And if you're not willing to give me more, then this isn't going to work out. So we parted as friends, and we'll keep in touch. Happy birthday, text messages, those type of things. But I had decided that I wanted to, if I was going to date someone, I wanted to date intentionally. And I was also very much focused on my career. I do work in corporate America, so a lot of my time was focused on my career and growing that. So that was a primary part of it as well. And then maybe about last year, I posted some pictures on Instagram, and he replied to the pictures like, hey, how are you? Would you like to go to dinner? And honestly, I did not respond. I was dating someone at the time, so I really had no interest in responding. Posted some more pictures. He responded again. And I said, you know what? I can meet him out for dinner. It's a free meal. Sorry. It's a free meal. We could meet out to dinner. And we went out to dinner and just really reconnected. I felt as if he had matured and grown. I had also grown. I would have to say, one thing I love about aging is feeling more comfortable with who you are. And I think that does reflect from the outside. And I saw a maturity and growth in him. We went out to dinner, went out a couple more times from that. I was very clear, I think for the really first time in our very long relationship, about what I wanted. And if that was not what he was going to be able to give me, then it wasn't, again, let's not waste anybody's time. And he assured me that he was not going to waste my time. And that was in last year. Goodness, it was during the summer. I would say June or July. And I stopped seeing the person that I was dating at the time. And then by December of last year, he proposed. And we are planning our wedding for June of this year. This isn't for everyone, and everyone's situation is so different. But when people say that to not give an ex or someone a chance, like once it ends, move on, never look back. I would say in some situations, yes, do that. And that's what I planned on doing in this situation. But sometimes your gut or whatever it is steers you differently. And I was taking a huge risk, even going out with him for dinner. Where's my brush? For dinner that night. I like to put my foundation. This is a very tinted. I love this. This is another glow. Not as glowy as what I just put on, but this is definitely one of my favorite tinted moisturizers. This is always my go-to. To always put a little bit, dab a little bit here, dab a little bit over my brush, just so I'm not overdoing it. I do love, my goal is always to have a no makeup look. This is one of the ways that I achieve it, is with this. So I would say our story and how we reconnected is not for everyone, but I think that sometimes it can work with an ex or someone that you dated earlier in your life. I do think that could work. And it worked for us because I think in our first time in our lives, we knew exactly what we wanted, and we knew that is what we wanted from each other. Oh, that's my story. Yep, so we are planning our wedding in June, and I can tell you, I never envisioned getting married. So I never envisioned what my wedding would be. My first thought was that we would just elope, but my best friend and my mother made me promise that I would not elope. So we have decided to have a small civil ceremony with our family and our best friends, which will be our witnesses. And then after that, we are just going to have a dinner with our friends and our family. And that was something where initially, let me tell you, these weddings, they are so expensive. Number one, they're so expensive. And they can get out of control very quickly because you don't want to not include certain people. So where this was something where I was like, let's keep it very small and just have our parents and our witnesses. So that would have been around 6 to 10 people. Go to the courthouse, and then after that, go to lunch or go to dinner and call it a day. We're married, hard stop. But one thing that was really important to my fiance was that we really include the people who love us and who support us. So that started to make the list bigger and bigger. And now we have landed on still going to the Justice of Peace, which they only allow 10 people. So thank goodness there's a limit there. And we're going to have a dinner with around 60 people. Actually, 62 people as of today have RSVP'd. And then that's it. And then the next day, for the folks that have come into town, our friends and our family, we're just going to have a little barbecue. So just a little wedding weekend that, I say a little. I do want to put some concealer on. Oh, there it is. Some concealer right here. Just having a little wedding weekend that I think will be fine. I think that will be fine. What do you think? What are your thoughts on that? From 10 people to 62 people. I've got 2 dresses. I've got a dress for the dinner and the civil ceremony, and then we were going to go out afterwards to a little nightclub. So we've got a little VIP section of the nightclub, and I did bring a dress to change into for that. Also wanting to talk about some of the highs and lows in the journey of midlife, and one of the challenges with perimenopause and menopause, and just feeling as if we do not talk about that at all or enough. I was really shocked that there was not a lot of education or talk about perimenopause. I really just thought it was, honestly, I'm gonna be totally transparent. I just thought my period would end and that would be that. I did not really think about the impact of hot flashes and all of the other changes that your body goes through. The top kind of things that people talk about is your mood changes, your period goes away, and you may have some hot flashes. But there is so much more that goes on with your body when you're going through perimenopause. And that can be aches, pain, inflammation in your body. Not only was I having hot flashes during the day, and hot flashes, people call it their own personal summer, but that's a cute term. Your own personal summer is cute. Hot flashes are not cute at all. The amount of sweat and stuff that would be pouring from my face and my body is also embarrassing. It can be quite embarrassing, especially in professional or even casual settings. You're with your friends, you're going out to dinner, you're laughing, and then you're sweating. And it's real sweat. For me anyway, it was like real sweat. And then my challenges with sleep. Waking up every morning around 3 a.m. When you have a lack of sleep, that's where the weight gain comes in. That's where the fogginess and forgetfulness comes in. Gosh, I can walk into a room and forget, like, why am I even in this room? There is just so much that happens that as women, we don't talk about. We talk about with our healthcare provider. And I will have to say, my primary physician was the worst person to talk about this. I went to her, a woman, and I said, these are the things that are happening to me, that are happening in my body. And she told me, don't worry about it. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it. It's too early. It's really just in your imagination. And I'm like, I know myself. I know my body. I don't think it's my imagination. I have since changed physicians since then, but just having physicians that listen to you, understand, and are going to provide you with the care and support that you need. as you're going through perimenopause is really important. And I think as women, we don't talk about it. It's not something that I ever talked about with my mother. I brought it up to her and I'm like, Mom, why haven't you ever talked to me about this? I'm going to do my eyebrows. Just give them a little bit more drama here. And her statement to me about it was, I didn't really think about talking about it with you. It just comes and goes. And I could tell you, for me, it has not been it's come and it's not gone. It's not gone. So I just really think I'm a true advocate for ensuring that as women, we're talking about it, we're providing support for each other when it comes to menopause and perimenopause, and ensuring that we have the right resources, especially because I still am in corporate America. I think for women in corporate America, we need to be talking about it too, because it's real and it impacts us being able to do our job. And I know as women, we want to just say we're strong and we can work through everything. I have friends that are my age and we're all going through it at the same time. They've said that they've been more emotional at work. It impacts their performance at work, especially as women. It's true, we do have to work harder and smarter, but sometimes when we feel as if our body is not supporting us and our body and our health is our challenge, that can be an issue. And I think it's something that we need to address and talk about it. And as you can see, I'm getting all revved up because it's something I feel very, 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 very passionate about. And that's one of the things, and when I think about why I started this channel and why I talk about some of the things that I do, it's to bring awareness to that. And as you can see, I don't do a lot when it comes to my makeup there, but I do know that I need to just add some blush and some lipstick. As I am finishing this up, this is like a blush. I'm going for like a purplish theme. My outfit that I have on is black and white, so I feel like I can pretty much do anything when it comes to this. I like this a lot. And it's deep. I love this. It's deep. It's beautiful. All right. And then the last things, and I'm almost running out. This is done. Ugh, this is so good. My last bit of this. One of the last things I want to talk about is overconsumption. I do consider myself to be an overconsumer. So I've been really focusing and reflecting on why do I tend to gravitate to shopping as a way to self-soothe myself, and really moving away from that. I have really focused on downsizing my wardrobe and not bringing any new pieces in, and selling a lot of my items as well. A lot of my stuff I donate and give away, but I had a very extensive mid-priced handbag collection. It was not, not luxury at all, but really tampering and downsizing my handbag collection, downsizing my shoe collection. I am a shoe addict. And I say the reason why I love shoes so much is that my shoe size never changes. I'm a 6. I've always been a 6. So regardless of whether or not I fluctuate in weight, my shoes size never changes. So I was able to always just purchase shoes. I'm going to end this with the makeup is my Lasting Hold Fixing Spray. So I always like to spray a little bit of that as well. And I have my little fan to be able to dry that up. So that's something that I like to really talk about and bring you on my journey of decluttering and downsizing and being more of a conscious consumer and being really mindful about my shopping and how I live. And it's not to stop shopping altogether, the people that can do those no buys, I'm not there yet. It doesn't mean that I will not one day, never say never, but my intention is always to have a low buy and to really focus on quality rather than quantity. And that is where my focus has been over the last year or so and will continue. I've started to learn more about myself, what I love, especially when it comes to clothes, fashion, skincare, all those things. I'm learning and growing each day. I'm still trying to figure it out. And I'm learning, and I want to share those things with you as well. I can actually stand here and chat with you all day, but I actually need to get going and start running my errands. I have a free Saturday and I want to take advantage of it, especially weather. As you can see behind me, it is beautiful out. So I want to be able to get outside, run my errands and do all those things. But I want to thank you for joining me today. I want to thank you for supporting me and supporting this channel. And if you could take a moment, if you have gotten this far, please like and subscribe to the channel. There will definitely be more things to come, especially on these areas that I talked about, more wedding coverage, definitely more discussions about overconsumption, over consuming makeup, skincare, fashion, midlife, all those things. There will definitely be more on those topics. So if that's something that you're interested in, please let me know below. If there's something that you think that you would enjoy me covering or talking about, please let me know in the comments as well. But thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Have a wonderful day, friends. Bye.